Ladies and gentlemen, Michael Cole and JBL here at ringside, welcoming you to Minneapolis, Minnesota.
Hey, I got top billing tonight. I like it. Keep it up.
Well, what can I say? These Minneapolis fans have got me in such a great mood. I'm feeling especially generous tonight.
Talk about superstars who don't have an ounce of quit between them. You're looking at them right here.
And that's a potentially dangerous mindset to be in. If you're too proud to realize that you're in trouble, you might wind up risking your career for a single match.
Hey, you gotta be...
This superstar is all fired up, and so is this capacity crowd.
Yeah, well, one mistake and we're gonna see that fire put out pronto. And there's the counter.
Torrie Wilson, of course, has appeared on the cover of Playboy magazine twice. I'm sure you picked up those issues.
Absolutely, but I just read them for the articles. And let me tell you, Torrie's got some beautiful articles in there. That was a textbook reversal. It's so great seeing these superstars in competition here tonight. I had a feeling they were going to wind up against each other sooner or later.
There were times when it seemed like it wasn't going to happen, but I can't tell you how glad I am that it did.
That's for sure. You know, anytime you throw these kind of combustible elements into a match, you're guaranteed a great show.
And that's exactly what we're seeing here tonight.
Man, what a match. Kids, if you're watching this, don't try this stuff at home.
Absolutely not. These are trained WWE superstars, and even they wind up seriously injured sometimes.
Here it is. He's building up a head of steam, and he's about to let his opponent have it.
And if his opponent is smart, he'll get the hell out of there.
The adrenaline is pumping. The crowd is coming alive. This is what they came to see.
Hey, try to restrain yourself a little bit, okay? You're supposed to be calling this down the middle.
We're hearing the First Amendment in action here tonight.
I'm all for freedom of expression, whether I agree with what they're saying or not. There's the reversal.
Each of these competitors is looking for the slightest hint of weakness in the other.
That's the law of the jungle, and injured superstars like a wounded animal. It's survival of the fittest.
And that also means that if you're not at 100%, you've got to be able to hide it from your opponent.
That's absolutely right. This business is as psychological as it is physical. You can't let your opponents think you're easy pickings.
Well, I wouldn't consider any of these superstars to be easy pickings, no matter how beaten up they get.
I think these superstars are going to keep it up until they've got literally nothing left to give.
And that's the attitude you have to take to win. You know that your opponent isn't going to hold anything back, and you can't afford to either.
I'd love to know where you're coming up with this stuff, because it sure ain't from personal experience.
I certainly don't envy the referee in this match.
No kidding. No matter what call you make, you're going to get on the bad side of at least one superstar.
And that's about the last place you want to be if you're not a superstar yourself. Trust me, I know. Night after night, the WWE superstars never fail to amaze the fans.
And that's a good thing. I don't even like to think about where we'd be if they didn't.
Well, we wouldn't be sitting here calling this match, that's for sure.
These superstars give everything they've got when they're in a match like this, but a lot of people don't realize what they sacrifice behind the scenes, too.
No question. If you want to make it in the WWE, you've got to sacrifice just about everything for your career. It has to be as important to you as anything else in your life.
And for a lot of guys, look at this, pandering to the crowd.
Nothing wrong with keeping the paying customers happy while you build some momentum.
You know, there's such a thing as playing to the crowd too much, and that's what I'm seeing here.
I disagree. He's wrestled this match his way all along, and now we see it paying off. Ugh.
This has been a great match so far, but I think it's pretty obvious which way it's going.
Oh, really? Are you willing to go out on a limb and actually make a guess then?
There's no guesswork involved, but if you're going to be snippy, I'm just going to keep my mouth shut.
Wow, if I knew it was that easy, I would have said that years ago. Oh!
These superstars have been giving it everything they've got all night.
They sure have, and that's where the superb conditioning of the WWE superstars comes into play.
Yeah, you're not going to win a match if you're blown up 2 minutes into it.
You can say that again. I've seen matches won and lost simply because one superstar was able to outlast their opponent.
I've been looking forward to this match all night.
So have I. It's certainly been one of the most anticipated matchups in recent weeks.
And usually when you got that kind of hype, it's tough to live up to expectation, but these superstars aren't having any trouble doing that.
They sure aren't, and that's an impressive thing in and of itself. This capacity crowd is making their opinions known tonight.
Yeah, the WWE, come on, quit showing off. This is a wrestling match, not a popularity contest.
We've seen this before. He's been wrestling his style of match, and he's coming up on a big payoff. These fans can't get enough of Torrie Wilson, and neither. I think someone's been taking flying lessons.
There isn't an ounce of quit.
He's got this crowd solidly behind him, and now he's going to give them exactly what they want to see.
You can't just keep playing to the crowd. That's a huge distraction, in my opinion. I know I say this a lot, but it ain't ballet. You step between those ropes, you better be prepared to take some punishment.
And to dish some out as well. I don't think I've ever seen a superstar win a match by being a tackling dummy.
Torrie Wilson looks as lovely as ever, as if that's a surprise.
Looking at Torrie reminds me of something a friend of mine used to say. She's got legs all the way to her.
All right, simmer down there, Cole.
Are you blushing? Look at you. You're blushing.
I love hearing a crowd come alive, even if I disagree with what they're saying.
Me too, and I do agree with what they're saying.
Man, this one's turned into a fight, pure and simple.
We knew it was going to be intense. We knew it was going to be physical. But I don't think anyone was prepared for this.
I gotta admit, it took me by surprise, and that doesn't happen often.
That's an understatement. You've been in hundreds of matches in your career. We've both called hundreds more. We usually have a pretty good idea of what to expect, but not this time.
I guess it just goes to show you anything can happen here in the WWE.
Watching these superstars go at it reminds me why I prefer to stay on this side of the announce table.
You know, if you let me train you, you could be cruiserweight champ inside a year.
Oh, no. I've heard stories about the way you train people. You make Marines real.
Instead of pandering to the fans, you should really keep your head in the match.
Come on. You're looking at a superstar who can feed off the crowd and use that energy to win the match.
Look at that. That's going to go over big with the fans and build some momentum at the same time.
You got to watch out for your opponent when they're getting fired up like this. Man, this crowd is really swelling this guy's head.
There's no doubt that these fans love him, and he's feeding off that energy right now.
Even if you wind up winning a match like this, you're going to be feeling it for the next week.
Yes, but that's the case if you lose as well. And having to deal with emotional as well as physical pain is that much worse.
Hey, it's pretty insightful for a guy who's never wrestled a match in his life.
Well, I've been in the locker room after a match and seen the superstars who don't get their hands raised. You can literally feel the disappointment.
Here's your winner, Kane.